Welcome to the Everyday Millionaire Show with Ryan Greenberg and Nick Kalfas. What's up, guys? We are here. It's just before 6 a.m. We have a new sponsor for the podcast, SupDog Supplements. They just sent us some pre-workout, some creatine. I've been taking this every day before the gym. About to do about a mile and a quarter swim workout this morning, and then chest and biceps. This has always been a great pump. For the last couple weeks, hasn't been too jittery. A lot of pre-workouts I take gives me the jitters. This has been good. It's pretty tasty. I have the blue raspberry. It's definitely strong tasting, but it's pretty delicious. And then we have our creatine here as well. So I'm gonna take 1 scoop of the creatine with my pre-workout. Unflavored creatine. I like it better that way. If you looking for new supplements, try some out. SupDog, they are local to Maryland, so they hooked us up, and look forward to a long-term sponsorship with them. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Millionaire Show. We are here with Krys Benyamein. Did I say that right? You get that?
Nailed it.
Let's go.
Nailed it.
That's tough. That's one of the hardest parts of having a podcast is saying everybody's name right.
Right. Krys, where are you originally from? Or where is your family from originally?
Yes. The name, my family, we're from Egypt. My sister and I are first generation Americans. So my sister and I were born in Southern California. And my mom and dad immigrated from Egypt in the 80s.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys landed in California originally, or have you guys traveled?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I think this is like a lot of immigrants or a lot of different countries, groups of people migrate one place. So a lot of Egyptians, I think in the 80s, were coming to Los Angeles and they immigrated to Southern California. And in fact, where my real estate office is, the city of Norwalk, Southeast LA, this is down the street from where my mom landed in the 80s. So it's interesting to see, how close you stay to where you fall so many years ago. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. So I didn't do my research either. So you're in real estate sales?
I'm in what? I'm sorry.
Real estate sales?
Yeah, I'm in real estate sales. I've been in real estate sales for the last 8 years, and I come from an industry. I come from practicing law, so I was a public defender for about 5 years before getting into real estate sales, and I got into it to join the family business. So when my folks came over to America, in the 80s, they did a few odd end things until they landed in real estate in 90, the late 80s, like 1990 actually, exactly, or 1989, and been in the business ever since. So I've lived a lot of places. I went to school in DC, so I know Maryland from going to school in DC. And then I went to law school in Las Vegas. I do a lot of rock climbing, so I went to law school in Vegas. And then I practiced law in Lake Tahoe, or in Reno, and lived in Lake Tahoe. And ultimately, I came back to Southern California about 8 years ago and have been working with my family selling houses since. That's kind of the short of it.
So you went to
Go ahead.
was it college in DC or was it high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I went to college in DC. So my sister went to Howard Dental School. So that's what exposed me to DC. She went to Howard Dental School. Her husband at the time had gone to Georgetown, and I remember visiting them and thinking DC's pretty badass. And I ultimately went to American University, and I was out there for 4 years. Did the Baltimore thing a little bit and loved it. It was like such a good chapter. I loved the East Coast. I loved living in Maryland. And then came back West Coast for law school. Did law school at UNLV, and yeah, and now been selling houses since.
Been slinging houses since.
So what is your typical client look like in Southern California?
A typical real estate client.
Yeah, sorry, wait, somebody pop in the studio real quick. Yeah, like your typical person that you're selling to in Southern California, are people, I feel like me included, think about Southern California as being unaffordable, really,
Yeah.
really tough to buy a house. $1 million get you a shanty shack or whatever.
Yeah. I unfortunately what you're thinking is so accurate. And so many people that I'm serving are pretty representative of the middle class. And it's crazy.
Uh-oh. Gotta love Zoom.
1.3 million, right? Median price home in LA County, and LA County is so big. So there's some shitty parts of LA, is 900,000. So it's not inexpensive. San Diego is about 1 million. Um, you see a lot of families pulling it together, like mixed families, people moving in with grandparents. You see a lot of blended type things. And you see a lot of people, I think, just using most of their income, not being able to save on housing. Like, I think a lot of people are, I don't want to say house poor, but you know, you're not going to live the way Dave Ramsey wants you to living in Southern California with the cost of housing here.
Yeah.
I never want to be doom and gloom when it comes to real estate, but when I think of my peers, I'm 35 years old. I got a 2.5 year old and a 7 month year old baby. A lot of my friends own houses, but a lot of my friends don't own houses. Um, I don't see the climate getting much better. And I don't know Maryland very well, but I don't see the real estate market, the economic climate changing significantly in which it's going to get easier to get in. I kind of see people with means. Um, I feel the gap is only going to get bigger between people that are making it and people that are trying to make it. We're not building houses in SoCal, we're just building apartments. It's yeah, it's tough. I don't
Does
mean to
it?
be
A lot of renters.
a lot of renters.
And does it seem right now that it's transitioning more towards a buyer's market in California?
Does it seem like it's transitioning? I'm so sorry. Does it
Yeah,
seem like
does it seem like it's transitioning more towards a buyer's market right now?
You know, it's definitely transitioning more to a buyer's market in the sense that houses are staying on the market longer. So naturally, if houses are going to stay on the market longer, we're going to get more ability to negotiate. I'm definitely getting buyers' houses under the list price. I think even under the list price in some circumstances, though, is fair market value, right? Like I think some prices are still just off from what sellers thought they were going to get in the past, and that's okay. But even it becoming a buyer's market doesn't make it super affordable, right? Like people are still feeling 6% on a $1 million house, but they're doing it, right? So I don't say this as doom and gloom. Like we're still selling a lot of houses. I'm so grateful for for this business and being able to do what we do. And there's no doubt that, like, I mean, there's still a lot of people buying and selling homes. So it's a testament to, I don't know if it's resiliency or just like people are going to do whatever it takes to provide for their family to
S-
live.
Speaking of that, can you talk a little bit about how your parents came from like a foreign country and just started a real estate business? Because that just seems like something that would be really tough to do. Just in general, I know from my own, you know, I was born here and had all the things, and it's still a hard business. So, what did they do to get started?
Yeah, I think my parents, similar to other immigrants or people that have like chips on their shoulders, will do whatever it takes to get started and to make it. So I feel very grateful because you only know what you know, right? Like I only know what my parents taught me. I only know what I've been exposed to. And that's like a lot of hard work. Like my parents still put in a lot of hours, and I just think that's sort of um, I think for a lot of generations, it was like a blessing or like a privilege to get to work hard and succeed and make money. And the old, like, I don't know if it's like younger people or, now, especially with social media and stuff, it's like quick wins, quick money so that we can chill. And I think there's something still beautiful about just putting in the equity, right? Like putting in the work. So, I don't think they did it any differently than people do it today. Maybe it was a little bit easier with less competition back then, but they were like with Century 21, a big office. Like ultimately, they were exposed to people knocking on doors, making calls, and they took a leap and they pulled it off in the early 90s and just got better at the craft. I think that's the cool thing about real estate specifically is it's open to everybody. Only the ones that are really sharp are like achieving these high levels of success. But you don't got to go to law school, you don't got to go to medical school to get this opportunity. And like that's such a privilege because the barriers to entry to other industries of helping people can be tough, right? Like that's a double-edged sword.
Chris, you
Can
kind of inspire me though in the fact that you went through this journey of going to law school to get, to become a public defender, and lawyers, they don't just make $100,000 a year, right? Like they make pretty good money. And you decided, hey, I want to go back and I want to help my mom, and I want to, join this real estate journey that they're on and have my own journey. And now you're doing, Instagram, 35,000 followers, or I don't know what you're up to now, but a ton of followers, you're doing the content, you're creating. What got you to the point where you were like, hey, I'm ready to just kind of quit the public defender thing and go do real estate?
Yeah, great question. I think when I quit being a public defender and moved back to Southern California, there was a lot of things happening in my life that were leading me down a certain path. So I love to work, I love selling houses, but I love life and I want to live my life a certain way. So when I say that to make clear selling houses is similar to being somebody's lawyer in which you are like advocating, protecting somebody. I know it's different because you're not in a courtroom, but you're still like providing a service. So I think ultimately I figured out that I didn't need to be a lawyer to feel happy serving people or doing like this part of my brain. I just need to do something that gives me that part of my brain. At the same time, my family, my mom, goated in this business, has been doing it 35 years. It's difficult to find mentors that are willing to literally pour everything into you the way a mother would, who's goated in an industry, right? So, like, I'm thinking this in the back of my head is like, I got this ace. How do I not play it? And maybe this is a testament to my life and having been so abundant and so many things I've gotten to do and so many things like just like, I've had such a privileged life, but I was never worried about transitioning from lawyer to real estate and not making money, right? Like I think I'd be making a ton of money if I was selling ice. Like that's secondary to, I think, whatever you're doing, right? Um, it was very difficult to go from being lawyer to real estate agent in the sense of the way that I felt people respected me. My wife is a plastic surgeon. My wife is a doctor. I already felt some type of way when, your partner is like with all these people that are at a certain level of it. Like there's just things around it that I don't think I need to describe and you guys understand. So I certainly felt some friction when I went from being in a courtroom to knocking on doors. But truly, truly, like that stuff that I feel like I have shed, like that ego that I have shed, where it's like, bro, think whatever the fuck you want of me. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm so much more than a real estate agent. Like, if my identity was a fucking lawyer, like, that makes me a shitty person too. Like, I'm so much more than the job that I'm doing. So it was difficult because I'm a young man, like 28, 29 years old. Like, you want that respect, but I wasn't gonna be willing to hide behind it to not take the leap, right? And I think you gotta trust life, faith, like I'm religious, I believe in God. Like I knew it was gonna work. And I haven't looked back, but it wasn't just because it was real estate, it was because my family was in it. The woman that I met, my wife now, like the mother of my kids, like she was moving to SoCal. My sister was getting a divorce. Um, and I needed to be back with the family. So there was so many things like, we all talk about looking for signs, but God, the universe will provide you indications of what you need to do. You just sort of need to take the leap. And that's difficult. I think that's difficult. Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah. We talked about it on the last podcast, like quitting your job. There's a right and a wrong way to quit your job. So like speaking on that, how, how did you set yourself up? like you don't have to speak exact numbers, but did you have like a certain amount of reserve funds just in case like real estate didn't pay? Like sometimes, you know, you become a real estate agent, you don't sell a house for a couple months. Did you have a strategic reserve? And like, how did you go about from working full time as a lawyer to being a independent, you know, real estate agent?
Yeah, absolutely. So, great question. I did have money saved, but not money saved to the extent in which I could like flounder forever. I mean, truthfully, I wanted to continue building a portfolio and I wasn't willing to compromise certain things. So I moved in with my parents, right? This is 28 years old, but like, I'm not embarrassed by that. Like, it is like, it's Gucci. Like, my life is great. So I didn't want to sell my house in Incline Village, Lake Tahoe, because it was one of the best investments ever. I didn't need the money, and Tahoe is very special to me. So I moved in with my folks. My lady was in her residency at San Diego, so she was renting an apartment down there. I would go to the office every single day, drive separately than my mom, but like I'd go to the office every day and I'd come home living with my mom. And I would drive from San Diego probably like 3, 4 days a week, like commute 2.5 hours each way just to see my lady at the time. But it was like all good because I'm young, we don't have kids, like it was fun. And I did that for a few years. Ultimately, I saved up. Folks helped me again. This is at 29 now, like a year and a half into SoCal, moving back. I bought a duplex in San Diego because I knew I was going to marry her. And I pulled the trigger on a duplex, moved her into the 1 bedroom apartment, rented the 2 bedroom, lived modestly, sort of did that house hack. And then it's just changed as we've gotten older and built a family. Like we got engaged. I wasn't going to start like continue staying at my mom's, so I was just driving pretty much every day from San Diego to LA. Like it just is what it is. Like I was cool with it. And then we got married. We moved to the 2 bedroom, making less money on the rental. But like as we grow and develop, like it's not all about the money. It's about the lifestyle. And like we needed another bedroom. And life has just been continuing to develop like that. And I just feel like it's all perspective. Like, you were talking about the security blanket you need to take a leap. I have my transaction coordinator who's a licensed real estate agent. He gets a salary, and I'm encouraging him to take the leap full on into sales. Right. But he doesn't want to because he likes getting the steady paycheck. And what I told him very transparently is like, it is an illusion of security to be getting this paycheck from me because I love you like family. Don't get me wrong. Like I would never do anything to like get rid of you. But if I die, like I don't know what the next person's gonna do. Like God forbid, like I go climb a mountain, I don't come back. Like, bro, I don't know what your future. Like you can't rely on me to. So I feel like there's illusions of safety. It's all perspective of how you look at these cards that were dealt. And I don't even know how I got onto that boat, but that's how
No,
I feel about. Oh, you're the investments and like taking that leap. Yeah, I
yeah,
think you probably don't need a blanket as much as you need to take the leap.
yeah. No, I love that. That literally, it's so funny. That's the second podcast back to back that the person across of us has said like it's not really always about the money. I mean, it's about money, right? Like it's always about money, but at the end of the day, it's about the lifestyle that you want to create, the lifestyle you want to have. And I mean, we just had a guest down from Philly, and he was saying the same thing. Like he was working for his family's company selling signs, and he got out of that to create the lifestyle he wanted to, investing in real estate. And I think it's really cool, and I think you guys would agree that's the same thing. Nick used to be a landscaper. Ryan used to be a PE teacher. And obviously I was in the military and it was like I could have got out and did that thing, but I wanted the lifestyle. You talked about buying your first duplex. How much real estate do you own currently?
I own currently. Um, I own a home in Lake Tahoe that's an Airbnb short-term rental. We use it with our family. We rent it out. That was the property that I bought after law school. I own a condo that cost very little when I bought it in law school, in Las Vegas. I own a duplex in San Diego, 2 units in San Diego. I own a rental, just like a house hack that, I'm in the business. So I saw an opportunity to buy an investment in LA, and I currently rent the house that I live in. I don't even own the house that I live in at the moment. So it's interesting, like at this age, that was definitely like a fuck renting a house with two kids. Not to say it matters at all. Like it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. But you think about all these things being a dad now, being 35, like you guys look similar age. I think Chase is younger, but like I don't know if
Chase is
that
young. We're the same age, yeah.
You
Yep,
guys are all
34.
millennials. I'm the only Gen Zer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that might resonate with you guys.
Yeah. So the house that you currently live in, you rent, do you have like, is that purposely? You're just not, you haven't found the house that you want to live in? Like what?
It's such a good question because being in real estate, it affects sort of like this, idea of what I feel owning versus renting and the timeline. Truthfully, and whether this is, I mean, this is what it is. I'm not willing to sell anything to buy something because I believe we can be patient to get where we want to be for at least the next like 5 to 8 years. And that was kind of the thing is we were in a transition period in which I knew the next 2 to 3 years, I was unclear where my wife was going to be working. And with the cost of real estate in Southern California, it just made no sense for me to buy something knowing that I was growing a family, like I just had my second baby, uh, knowing that it wasn't going to fit my lifestyle for more than the next truly like 5 years. And when you look at the payments, like I'm very transparent, $7,000 a month.
You
That's
broke up there. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
my rent, for example, is about $7,000 a month.
Wow.
For how big?
It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, like almost 3,000 square feet, like big backyard. It's like a house for a family. It's
Yeah.
not big. It's nice. But it's not, it's whatever. And that's like reasonable. That same house has a payment of a mortgage, probably around like 11,000 a month.
Jeez. Yeah.
There's no issue with that payment. But if you know that you're not going to be there for like 8 years, if you look at the cost of renting versus owning at this price point in Orange County, it just doesn't pencil unless you know you're going to be there for a period of time. So, God willing, buy a house in the next year, and then that house I'll be in will probably be like 8 years or so. And it just makes more sense.
Yeah, at that price point of $11,000 mortgage, your interest payment would be more than 7,000,
Yeah,
and you got to pay for the maintenance.
yeah, and like truly the house that I really want cost me like 20,000 a month. And I can't like I'm just not at that place right now, but I will be in like 18 months. So rent for 7, it just makes sense for us. And I have to put my ego aside because your ego just gets in the way of so many things, right? Like you make so many decisions based on, you try not to make decisions based on what you think people are thinking about you or just like what you think you should be doing, So it's just like I had to check myself having not been a tenant for so many years to get back into this role.
Yeah. That's it. That's so interesting because here we don't, I guess we don't have that same like affordability. I guess we do a little bit, but it's not like California crazy with the affordability like crisis or whatever you want to say. But how are people sustaining like I guess the people that you rent from just don't have a mortgage?
No, so I just saw a headline the other day that there are more 6% mortgages than 3% mortgages. There is a huge group of people in Southern California still that have been making good money that have 3% mortgages in which they can rent out and either break even or cash flow, and they make good money, so they've just saved for another down payment. So there is an inventory that I believe will never be unlocked because, like, I'm one of those people. Like, I'm never letting go some of the shit that I have because why would I? Like, I don't need to cash out of them. The interest rate is so low. I'm in California. It's going to continue to appreciate. Like, I'm patient. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I need to do that for? And that I think is a lot of, affluent individuals in SoCal that have bought these houses. Like the person that I'm renting from just bought a bigger version of the same house down the street. And I'm thinking that they make no money on my rent, but it breaks even and their house just, they're continue to stack equity.
Chris, do you guys work with investors in SoCal, or is it typically more just like retail buyers and sellers?
Yeah, I've not made my specific business investors per se. Like out of 70 transactions I did last year, I probably would say maybe like 10 of them were with developer investor type flip rehab. So it's like a small portion. So much of my business is relationship based. So like I have a handful of people that are in that game that I do stuff with, but what I've learned is that they kind of come and go. Like I have like people that I've done stuff with for a few years and then I think they get into a different business and so it's never been like my bread and butter, but I've got like a couple developments right now going. I
Yeah,
like
that's
properties.
where I was going with that is like how are people investing when the affordability is just crazy? I mean, Nick was kind of pointing it out of like if your mortgage is $11,000 and you can rent it for 7,000, like you're already upside down $3,000 a month.
Yeah, I think you're not seeing flips the way that they used to.
Hmm.
Obviously, the skin on or the meat on the bones is a lot skinnier. So you're seeing, in my opinion, only like more savvy people flipping houses these days. During COVID, I think anybody that watched Instagram or a TikTok was like, let's go flip a house. And they
Hmm.
could do that sort of thing because the market was moving so fast that a dummy was making money. But now I think it's like back to people that are more sophisticated, just like selling houses, it's back to people that are more sophisticated. And then I think specifically where investors are finding money in Southern California markets is value adds. ADUs are literally like the talk of the town. You know what I mean? Like ADU is like OnlyFans, gets people excited type of shit. So investors are looking for these properties in which they can build ADUs, they can, when I'm selling houses, I'm definitely marketing that lifestyle. Like it's got a detached garage. You're going to be able to do something with that. And, I don't know what the term is. It's like squeezing equity out of the place. And I
Yeah.
think that's how we're seeing a lot of it.
Yeah. Are you guys seeing a lot of developments too where they're like paying crazy prices just for like the land in the house and then tearing them down and building millions of dollars of houses. Like, out here, like $3 or $5 million, like get you on the water, pretty nice house. I mean, that's like what, a 3 bedroom house in California?
Well, it really depends where, right? So like I'm not going to be, chagrined to be like like if you're buying a $3 million house in California, wherever you are, that's going to be a pretty ballin' crib or a very ballin' neighborhood.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it's this like $1 million price in LA that's gonna like, yeah, it's not gonna impress you. It's not gonna feel like $1 million. Um, so so yeah, like there's a difference there, but people are still making it happen. It's fascinating. Like I saw a headline right now, these billionaire New Zealand brothers bought $60 million worth of land on Malibu from the fires, and they're building 19 prefabricated custom homes from like China that they're gonna like modularly put on the beach. So, it's exciting to see. It's tough because like politically, without getting into politics, like our local government has done some things that's obviously pushed a lot of people out, but California has so many positive things going for it that I just don't see that landscape changing. Get left behind. Like you better get with it or get out. So from my perspective, like I'm not upset about it. I just need to sell more houses. I just need to do more business. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like unless I'm going to leave, this is home and I'm gonna like do what I need to do to provide the lifestyle that I want. And like I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just like that's why I'm not crying over spilled milk. Like it is what it is. Like gas is $6. Like I want to live here. I want to drive my big truck. I want these like 35-inch tires. Like I do it with a smile on my face. I pay the fucking gas bill. Like it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the only way that you could do it out there is just say fuck it. Like you just got to make more to pay for the lifestyle. That's I don't really see another option. That is like where I'm from in New York. Most of my friends that I was friends with, back in high school and stuff, they're they didn't like grab life by the horns like you're saying. They're still living in their parents' house and not in a good way where they're saving up for that, that house that they've been trying to buy. They're just stuck. And like I tell people all the time, if I had gone back home to New York after college, there would have been no way that I would have been able to start the business that I have here up there because you're competing against people. New York just has there's just so much money there, and I imagine it's the same kind of thing in California.
Yeah, I think competition is definitely different in different places, but I think people are people, and like you guys making it in Maryland, you doing it wherever you are, like I think people are people, and that grit, that like I'm gonna figure it out. Like maybe there's levels to it. Maybe you make 4 million because you get to save more because there's no property tax, but like, I think you'd be selling. I think I'd be selling houses the same way if I was in a different state. I think if you came over here, it'd be the same thing. Like you rise to the circumstance in which you're around. Like that's why you don't want to hang out with slouches. That's why I don't like mopey people. That's why, you know what I mean? Like you rise to the stuff that you're around. So
Kind of a product of your environment type of thing.
Yeah.
I think you froze again.
bro, I think it cut out right when you said I think you're a product of your environment.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. He actually put something, and you guys probably don't follow him, but Krys is really big on social. Krys, how long did it take you, man, to get consistent on Instagram, like posting, doing all your things, and like, do you have a thought in your mind, or like maybe it's kind of your future plan to become more of like a content creator than real estate, or is real estate kind of the passion? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, as I think about real estate or like business, I'm realizing that so much of it is like your personal brand. So, I don't believe that I'm going anywhere from real estate. But like right now, real estate occupies 97% of my professional life, right? And it provides me 97% of my professional income. But what I'm realizing now, year 8 into the business, is where the sales are coming from is changing, and where I put my focus can yield results. So not I think, as I focus on like my personal brand, naturally real estate is always going to come. And right now I'm like facilitating a lot of that, but I'm not sure if in 10 years like I'm going to be doing all of that. Like when you guys, when you were asking me lawyer to real estate agent, one big difference between lawyer and real estate agent for the kind of lawyer that I was getting to put on a performance in a courtroom, getting to show up and like advocate. So switching from that to real estate, when I was exposed to digital marketing, when I was exposed to the video side, it really fired off a piece of like my brain that I was losing leaving the legal world. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't a desk lawyer. I was a courtroom lawyer, and there's a huge difference. So it's really obvious in my brain like why I love making videos, why I love communicating, because that's the shit that I wanted to do before. Like now it's just figuring out, how it fits into, making money, doing something that makes you money and makes you happy, because you're right, like it's always about the money. But how can you build a lifestyle in which you enjoy the way you're making money? Because when I think about selling 70 houses last year, if I would have done that same kind of business, cold calling out of a dark booth every day, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go do something else. Like, no way. So
Yeah.
when I look at my own business, could I have done 200 deals? Maybe if I would have sacrificed some other things, maybe if I was willing to do it a certain way, but it's not just about what you do, it's how you do it, right? Like, what's the point if you're soulless throughout it? Like, what's the point if every fucking day you're just like, I hate my life, I hate my job, I hate this shit, I hate these people? Like, real estate agents are so ironic when it comes to what we do because it's like every aspect of the job we dislike. It's like what you like, cashing checks. Like, dude, that's so, even if you're closing how many deals, like, give me a break. Give me a break. So I think what's a struggle, especially for like young dudes into the business, is it's slow to make money doing things like this idyllic way, right? Like it's harder to make content and sell things than it is like pound the phones, right? Like there's a difference between strategies and some of that joining a club, building relationships with people, sitting in a lobby and waiting for people to walk in and walk out. That shit is harder than like pounding a phone book and it takes longer, it takes more at bats. So to answer your question, I'm always going to be selling houses because it's like a business that I don't think I'm gonna ever get away from. And it's always going to be something that I tie myself to. But I love, yeah, I love marketing and then, like other doors have opened because of it. And I just like want to continue to, yeah, lean into it.
So what does your team look like? You said you have a transaction coordinator.
It's
Um, is that it? Is that all you got?
It's pretty, no, it's bigger than that, fortunately, but it's pretty lean, to be honest. It's my mom and I on the production side. My cousin used to be our transaction coordinator, but she's a full-time agent now. I have a transaction coordinator who's fully licensed, so that's four of us. I have my video guy, Joaquin. Depending on if I'm upset at him or not, he goes for my video guy when I feel like he's just pushing buttons. He's my creative director when I feel like he's doing more than that. So like today we had a talk. He's my video guy today. And then I have that's it. That's
Do
it.
you keep it that lean on purpose, or do you ever think about like, hey, like we might need some back admin staff, or maybe
Well,
getting more agents on the team, that type of thing?
yeah, totally. I mean, I'm realizing like there's seasons to things and there's seasons in which like I'm learning. So this is year 8 for me in real estate. And it's also like year 8 kind of as like a small business owner. And certain things like I've done better than others. And like learning how to manage people and build systems is something that I'm working on. So that's like my real estate team in business. Because the media and marketing has gotten to be like so much more, it feels like. I have a media company that I end up spending like hours on. That media company does like a lot of real estate media for my own team and other agents. So it's like I'm doing the same thing, but it's with a separate group. So I have like 2 video editors, a graphic designer. I just lost my social media manager person. Um, and that's kind of like a separate arm. And that kind of was birthed out of selling houses and just trying to build a smarter business. It was like 2022. I think that year, right after COVID, we had sold like 100 houses, my mom and I. But more importantly, like when I looked at the numbers, we had spent like 100, just under 100,000 on video marketing between like our own personal branding stuff and all of our listings. So if you look at the math, like, we sold, I did 35 listings last year. If I was averaging about $1,000 or $1,200 a house, how much more is it to get us full-time salary? You know what I'm saying? Like you just start doing the math of things and it's just like, well, let's just like bring this in-house. But then once you bring it in-house, you learn other things like, oh, if he's filming videos all day, who's editing videos? If he's editing videos all day, he's not available to shoot videos. So, there's been like growing pains. But I love it, right? Like I love digital marketing. I love video. I think it's fun. If I didn't like it, like I wouldn't do all this, right? Like I send mail and I make calls because those are important, but I do them because I know they're important, but not because like they give me joy.
Yeah. Can you talk about, because that I think like I manage a team of 12 agents now, which is absolutely insane for our first year in real estate, and I'm figuring out that it it is almost better to keep it lean, managing, a ton of people and trying to pour all your love into that, and again, I agree, it's definitely seasons to it, right? But can you talk about like the content creation? Because, you know, I've this last year, 2025, I was doing like 12 pieces of content around about a month, and Instagram gave me no love, and that's okay. And that and part of it, you know, was on me. But like, how the content, how you manage being almost a full-time content creator and real estate and, you know, the media company.
Love, I think just like my perception of what work versus joy versus like there's no balance chase. There's just like harmony and there's accepting like certain realities. So like I'm a creative, I'm a director, but I'm also a widget and an operator because I'm still like a small business owner. So I try not to get lost in the weeds when I find myself doing micro bullshit. It encourages me to find somebody to do that micro bullshit for me. But like my wife the other day. So my wife is a cosmetic plastic surgeon, one of the most educated, sharp, astute people. Like, God willing, I don't gotta do nothing and just chill, make videos, and it doesn't matter if nobody watches them. It's not our life right now. But my wife, God bless her, was talking to me about wanting to make this social media post. And I was explaining to her how to do it. And by the end of her doing this thing, and it was just this like basic thing on the Edits app, she was so angry. And she's like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is so stupid. How does anybody do this? And I was like, listen, mama, just because you're on level 12 of surgery doesn't mean you're on level 1 of building a business. So get your ego check, like sit down, turn on some music, turn your frown upside down. It's not that fucking bad. Push these buttons, edit this shit, and like move on, right? And I think there's like this piece of where are you in the season of whatever you're doing, and just like stop resisting some of that shit and just it's okay, So like yeah, brother, it's so much on my plate that is not yielding financial results yet. However, I get a joy from it and I have a belief in what is coming that I'm willing to sell whatever I need to live my life and do the extra hours, under hours, whatever, to keep building what it is in the future. And like I drop a lot of balls, a lot of things fall through the cracks. There's a lot of things I could do better, but I always am moving forward. And I think that's like always that's often the problem is like if we can't do it perfectly, we don't want to do it. If we don't have the full vision, we don't want to get started. But sometimes you just need to fucking go. And then you figure out where you're going once the car is rolling. And like, that's it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's my vision of it. Like,
So this is off topic, and I apologize for derailing here, but are you wearing two watches right now?
yes,
You have a smartwatch and like an ice watch?
yes.
Shit. I gotta step my game up.
So Ryan Chris is he just bought a Rolex, and I was like, "You're an idiot," like blah blah blah, like just giving him a hard time. And we went to look at him, two watches on. We went to Boston, dude, and we did a podcast with Kevin Coney. And do you know who that is, by the way? Kevin
Sounds so
Coney?
familiar. I can,
His wife has like a super thick British accent.
Boston accent.
Boston. I don't know why I said British. But anyways, we were up there in Boston. We go through all the watches. And I'm like, okay, this is legit. Like this is pretty cool. Like the amount of
There was an
exclusivity.
AP store, a Patek store, like there was like all like every single major watch brand that you can imagine. So I was in heaven.
I bet. I have to be so transparent. This watch was a wedding gift from my mother. I'm so grateful and like, I'm just like my life is so abundant. But I saw a picture because like I'm really into like tracking things and health. Like this Garmin doesn't come off.
Yeah,
Um,
I have the Garmin too.
yeah, brother, you just need to rock both. But I saw
I
a
gotta
photo.
rock both. Shit.
Yeah, dog. I saw a video of Lewis Hamilton's father giving him a hug after a race, and he was wearing an Apple Watch, and I was like, man, like, look at this guy's Apple Watch. Like Lewis Hamilton's dad, humble guy wearing an Apple Watch. And then there was another angle of the same photo, and he was wearing this beautiful, like, baby blue Daytona. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And
What
ever
what
since I saw him dual watching, I was like, yeah, why not? It's most people don't notice. Like we've been talking now for 50 minutes and you're just noticing.
I noticed like 15 minutes ago, but I just been trying to find a good place to sneak it in there. So my ADD was like, yeah, okay, I gotta mention the double watch thing, because the only other person I've ever seen double watch it is Kevin O'Leary, who I watch on like YouTube, and but he's wearing
Like
like
the
two Richard Milles, like he's not wearing a Garmin watch. But I'm like, damn, I can't, I'm not Kevin O'Leary, so I can't wear two watches. But now that I saw you do it, I think I
my
might
guy, you are
start.
you, Kevin. Like you wear them both. Wear them on your ankles if you want to.
Yo, it's so funny, but this guy is like the king of Garmin too. Like he bought me my first Garmin when we started the Ironman training, because
Oh,
I refused. I had an Apple Watch on. I refused to buy the
oh.
Garmin, and then it changed my life.
I just got an email from Garmin about like adding nutrition through the Garmin app. Did you guys see this? Now,
Yeah.
like, Garmin, you can start tracking your
Yep.
food. That's
Wow.
crazy because
That,
you guys have the Garmin scale.
I don't
no.
have the scale, but I enter my weight into the app. So
Get the
I do track that pretty good.
get the scale.
Okay.
Because it's so effortless. You just weigh yourself and it just to the app and like it's bad and it's good. I mean, it depends on what your goals are because that shit can really if you guys have trained for Ironmans and you know exactly what I'm talking about, sometimes it's too much data.
Yeah, no, we would be running 8 miles, and it's like your performance is -8, and I'm like, bro, what?
I think that's so funny because Garmin are a bunch of haters. I thought about this yesterday. Have you guys seen the Apple commercial in which the fat guy, is running away from the couch?
No,
No.
So Apple's definitely spending quite a bit of money on this campaign, but it really makes like think of the American culture and what this might mean. Like I don't have an Apple Watch, so I have to be mindful like what I'm saying. The video is a guy running away from a couch, and it says like don't fall for the trap, and it's all about closing your fitness rings.
Hmm.
And when I see that and I'm this fat guy closing his fitness ring, all I can think is like, well, what's it take to close a fitness ring? And now you got all these people buying Apple Watches thinking that they're half decent humans because they can like close a fitness ring. And then it made me think of the Garmin because the Garmin be fucking trashing me. Every single run is like, you
Yeah.
piece of shit. Like, and I'm
That's
just
what
like,
I like. That's what I
that's
like.
what I like. Yeah, exactly. Soapbox.
yeah,
So so you got a Garmin on the one hand, what's on the other?
This is a Sky Dweller. This is a
Okay.
um,
Classic. Is it two-tone?
yes, a Jubilee band, two-tone, and a black face. And
Nice.
I really, really,
that's
I really,
Yeah.
tough.
That's that's good. You can't when you put that on, Chase, you gotta
Both
get
of
one.
my both of my daddies got watches.
You gotta get one. You gotta get one. We
you
the
know,
one.
do all these other things that you need to do, and then get the watch
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
gonna be there. And
Yeah.
the other thing too is like you're so good looking and smooth, and like you have your stuff together. Like if this watch was fake, nobody would know the difference.
right.
Yeah,
That's
he does he wears a gold
and it,
Michael Kors watch that doesn't work. That
yeah,
doesn't
it
it
doesn't
doesn't
even
even
work. I
tick.
just use it for looks, man. That's it.
There you go. There
The
you
other
go.
day he looked at me, he was like, "Did you get one?" I was like, "No."
So it's funny enough, I got sucked into, and I'd never watched TV. Like and I'm very ADHD when it comes to like sitting in front of a screen and watch TV. But we put it on the other day, Owning Manhattan with Ryan Serhant,
Yeah.
and
This guy knows Ryan Serhant by
oh,
first
really?
name.
No.
So so I got into that. We've been watching that, and every single fucking person in there has a sick watch. And like I'm like watching with my wife. I'm like, he's got a Royal Oak. I think I need to get a Royal Oak. I think I need to get a Royal Oak. But now I'm sucked into these shows, and I see these watches, and it's just like it's an
It's
unhealthy hobby, habit, whatever you want to call it.
I
Chris,
mean, whatever. Set a goal, sell whatever, set the goal, another however many houses that you want to manage, and then treat yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your fitness journey on right now? Because I know you're a big runner. This dude's always running. So what's your big like I don't know, what not project, but training
So,
goals, whatever. Yeah.
um, It's in 2026. I don't have anything too big. This year, my wife is taking her board exams. It's her last big journey of like finishing all the stuff that she's been doing, and that's in November. So I've really had to pull back some of these things that I've been chasing because she supported me doing so many things in the past that like we're kind of in her season a little bit. So more immediately, I'm running a half marathon, Feb 1. I'm running the LA Marathon in March. I'm really still trying to weight lift because I haven't put down money yet, but I will be going back to the Himalayas like 2027. I think I'm going to climb a mountain called Ama Dablam. It's like a little bit under 7,000 meters. It's a big mountain and it's pretty technical. So it's a far out goal that like I can't get off the couch like I wouldn't be able to get off the couch and do it. So I'm trying to set little goals to keep me motivated because it's hard to work towards 2027 when 2026 just started.
Hmm.
Um, but that's kind of like my long and short. I'd like to do a high rocks. I'm probably not probably like I'll definitely I haven't signed up or I haven't like booked the weekends yet. I'll go climb some stuff in the Sierras in the winter. I'll go do some like ice climbing, but unfortunately 2026 is not going to be like my Ironman year. Um,
In
I just
2027 be your Iron Man year?
literally Ironman. No.
That's
You
fair.
have to love the training. Like I admire guys that do Ironman because I know what kind of commitment it takes. Like I'm well aware of what kind of discipline it takes. But what I've learned about endurance training is you have to enjoy the process. Like your
Mhm.
Ironman is a day, right? But the training is months, years. And like I just don't want to I don't want to ride the bike. I don't want to follow the schedule enough.
The full Ironman was a true life commitment. Like you had
Correct.
to commit our whole lives to it, and it
Correct.
was a lot, like 3 to 6 plus hours a day. Like weekends would be basically all day. You'd be on a bike, running, whatever. Weekdays, you're up running, swimming, biking. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot.
I mean, the thing about big goals, like I had set a goal to run every day in December. And well, the goal was originally run 69 miles in December, and then it quickly became run every day in December. And what it proved to me is that it's easy to set goals and do them. It's harder to decide what you're going to cut out to accomplish it. Like running every day is easy, but it's difficult. Like going out on a hike on Saturday all day is like, pretty fucking straightforward. That's why training is fun. Like it's pretty clear. What's hard is getting your wife on board with you being gone all day. What's
Mhm.
hard is getting the open house covered. What's hard is like telling your clients I'm not going to be available. Like it's really easy, I think, to train. It's hard to design your life in a way that it allows you to commit to those goals. And that's like what I've been so careful. Like the LA Marathon, I've been very careful about setting a time goal, not because I don't think I can do something crazy, but because I know what it takes to do something crazy and I know how I become when I begin to like get crazy and like I just like it's a hard season to do that right now. Um
Yeah, I think you have to be
but
very aware of your lifestyle. Like, I'm young, my wife's young, we don't have kids. Like, I could commit to 6 hours on a weekend for a bike ride. Like, she's not, of course she doesn't want me to do that, but she understands, right? But like your wife's doing boards and you guys have kids, and it's like,
and it's funny because it ties the fitness thing. I think that's why it's so important to have fitness goals when you got business goals because it's all the same. Like it's all the same when you begin to prove to yourself like what you can do and what it takes to. Earlier you asked like how do you do it? And I'm just like, well, you love it, so you show up and do it. And I think the training is the same thing. Like I'm not making it like if I wanted an Iron Man bad enough right now, like, what do? You wake up at 3 in the morning to get your shit done before. You know what I mean? You run, you train at night after work. Like two a days are hard for everybody. Like, I think that's a tough pill for our generation, our community to swallow is like You can have it all, but like, how bad do you want to fucking give up sleep? How bad do you want to give up whatever else? Like, that's the truth.
When you go rock climbing and ice climbing, do you go to like a business where you have to like sign up to do it, or you just go to like a random
Yeah,
rock
both.
and start climbing it?
I mean, on a Tuesday night, like this last year, I climbed a big wall in Las Vegas called Dark Shadows. It was like 2,000 feet. I don't know, it took like 8 hours or something. On a Tuesday night, I don't go outside. I'll just go to a gym because, like, where can I get some reps in before bed? But I do like climbing outdoors. Um,
How do you like? So I've seen videos where they climb ice and they screw the thing in. How does that
yeah.
work when it comes to rocks?
So with rock climbing, it depends what kind of rock climbing you're doing. There's two types, traditional trad climbing, and then something else called sport climbing. With trad climbing, you are placing your own gear. So there's these devices called cams and nuts. You would like put it between like a crack and then you pull on it and it would expand. You place that and then you would fasten the rope and then you climb. There's another type of climbing called sport climbing. Somebody before you has screwed a bunch of bolts in the rock in different places, and then you're clipping up through the rocks.
So the
Um,
first method, as you're climbing, is all of that gear being left behind that you pushed into the cracks? And
Correct.
how do you get it?
If you have a partner that you're climbing with, they are behind you, they are cleaning the equipment and putting it onto their rack. That's typically how it's kind of being done.
But then how are they safely securing themselves?
They're anchored to you above, so you have
Oh,
gear
okay.
above them that is securing them. That's a good question, though.
That I am so deathly afraid of heights, so I'll never do this sport. But I just saw the famous climber guy,
Alex
Alex.
Honnold.
He's about to climb a building, the front of a building. Did you see that? In the
I don't
I
know
think
too much about it, but I saw that headline.
one of the tallest buildings in the world. He's gonna scale the front of it, free solo. Like he doesn't have the
Right.
things that he
No
clips it.
cables,
No,
nothing.
no, nothing, nothing. He's just literally just
I,
free climbing.
I would imagine that's probably got to be so much easier for him than being on a rock. I would think.
I
But
want
I
to know
don't
what
know,
his life insurance policy cost him. Like
man,
that
especially
guy's just got so many videos. Have you ever seen this guy?
No, I haven't
Dude,
seen
he
this guy.
climbs like that one famous one, El Cap, which is like
yeah,
where's that in Utah or something?
in Yosemite.
Yosemite. It's like a fucking just a wall that he climbs thousands of
3,000
feet with
feet.
no nothing, no
But
straps, nothing.
But he had it like not taking anything away from him. It just shows you like the commitment to these things. Like anything else, it's like running an Ironman, like obsessed with it. Like we can do anything. You just have to become obsessed. He'd probably been climbing that for years, memorizing every single step, every single moment. So it's like by the time he did it with no ropes, he had done it for a year with ropes. Like such a testament to like he's not frivolous. Like obviously I would never climb without ropes, but he's so safe at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's obviously a thrill seeker, but he's a real professional. Like I know that sounds silly, but I think I hope you're tracking.
So the ropes and the device you put into the rocks, they're not to like leverage. They're basically just as a safety blanket in case you do fall or slip.
Generally speaking, if you are trad climbing, depending on what kind of climber you are, you want to climb within your means to not be falling and pulling on the equipment. Like it's there to catch you, no doubt, and it will catch you, and it does catch you, but you're not climbing with the goal of falling. When I'm out there sport climbing and it's a bolt, like fuck it, like go for it, take a fall, like you're gonna take a whip, but nothing's coming out of that rock. So you kind of have a different intention when you're, different kind of rock climbing. Like, with ice or yeah, with ice or like mountaineering, like you're just it's so different. Yeah.
That's a wild. This is most I've ever talked about rock climbing, and I'm like intrigued about rock climbing.
Yeah,
There's
don't
so many
Chris,
guys.
You got to get over your
don't
fear of
start
heights.
this guy's crazy. He'll drag me into something else.
No. That's
You
too.
should though, but there's so many parallels. I mean, that's what had brought me into like climbing really was to like get into mountaineering. So like there's a big parallel between Ironmen, ultra runners, and like
Rock
mountaineers.
climbing.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I'm a big rock climber, but like
my thing though is like, okay, Iron Man. If we were running and we have a cramp, we stop running.
Yeah.
If you're halfway up a face of a mountain and you're like just grabbing on with your little fingers and you got a cramp, then what do you do? You're stuck.
Yeah, there's definitely places in which you don't want things to go wrong, and there's
Yeah.
definitely like
Like
time.
airplanes, everything that's really tall. Air, airplanes, rock climbing. I can name a couple.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you climb and you get to the top, is there generally a walking path back down, or you have to climb back down?
It really depends like what rock or mountain you're on. Um, it really depends on what rock or mountain you're on. Like Mount Everest, you're just gonna like come down the same way you went up. And if you go down the other side, like you would be in China. You know, Mount Whitney in California, the biggest mountain in California, the continental US, you like rock climb the front of it, and then you're just like at a flat top, and like all the hikers are up there. So it's like so funny. You're on the top of this mountain with like a bunch of people that just like hiked up there. I've been on some mountaintops that are like only one person's fitting. Like, don't fucking sneeze the wrong way. So it's all different.
That's wild. Well, Chris, it was great having you on the show. I got to get out of here because I got dinner plans in a little bit. But where can our listeners find you and find your content?
Yeah. At Krys Benyamein. I'm at Krys Benyamein everywhere. If the spelling is anywhere, KrysBenyamein. Krys Benyamein.
Got it.
Sweet.
All
Chris,
right,
thank you
Chris,
so much, man.
thanks so
Thanks,
much, man.
Chris.